Solana, you want to chime in? You were there. You want to chime in? What happened to the Heat?
No, I think Clint Capella just caught another rebound. Oh, wait, hold on. Here comes Sadiq Bey flying in, second chance point. Wide open dunk.
I was about to say our rim protection wasn't very aggressive last night.
I mean, you look at that game, Crowder, and just say, because I've seen this on social media where, okay, I don't even want to win Friday. I want the slightest of chances in the draft lottery. And a lot of people saying, okay, now you have definitive proof you have to blow it up. And if you were holding on to Bam Adebayo as one of these untouchables, you can't do that anymore. You've seen since the All-Star game and then last night, like, I don't know. What do you take from last night?
The draft lottery thing is very extreme. But the thing about what this roster and how the roster is constructed, a conversation, debate, whatever you want to call it, we've had on this show since game one of the Heat, knowing that we're not made like these teams that the playoff runs are made out of. So, yes, I do think last night, even if they win, they go to the playoffs, they see the Bucks and all that, you know this team is not on the level of giving you anything close to a ring. You have to adjust it. If Jimmy's not the one, I don't care. If Bam's not here, to be honest, I don't care. You have to construct it. We've seen the big three. We saw Shaq and D-Wade. We saw championship teams. This is not one of them. Yes, something needs to happen, but trying to get the draft lottery thing, that's too far.
So, but it's done, though. We're not in love with any players anymore because essentially you're on the level of Atlanta. You get down to it, and you're at the level of where Atlanta is, and no one wants to be Atlanta. Sorry. I mean, Trae Young could get hot for the playoffs. That's what Shaq was saying last night on TNT. But listen, does anyone want to be Atlanta? Because that kind of feels like who the Heat are.
Trae Young, very good, top 20 player. Jimmy, top 20 player. You know what I'm saying? Dejounte Murray or Clint Capella, those guys, very good. Bam's very good. Like, we're very similar to Atlanta talent-wise. And like I'm saying, I love Jimmy. I would love for Jimmy to be a part of this Heat team just because how he's made. He's made to be a Miami Heat. But I don't think he should be the best player on the Miami Heat if you're going to win. That's where I'm at with roster construction and who I'm attached to and who I love. Tyler's going to be in the league 15 years, Hawk. Bam's going to be in the league 20 years. But they don't have to be on this team in my mind.
Solana, what's your main takeaway from last night? I know it hurts.
No, I think Clint Capella just caught one more rebound, and now it's Bogdanovich getting to the rim on a wide open layup.
Don't even bring up Bogdanovich. This mother bleeper. So I bet Bogdanovich over 2.5 made threes. He's got 2 in the first half. He was 2 of 4 in the first half. Shot 4 more threes. Wide open looks. Yep. I don't know if you noticed. They were open a lot. Mm-hmm. And couldn't knock down another one. Ended up losing that bet. They were all wide open. And I'm jumping off the couch because I know that's going to be the one that cashes the ticket. You know? And my wife keeps going, who are we rooting for? And I'm like, just that one guy in the pink sneakers, just him, one more three. And he would fire off another wide open three. I go, there it is. What's wrong with you? That happened 4 times the second half.
You were on my mind because I looked at the clock. It was 8:40 or something left in the fourth. And he shot one, and there wasn't anybody in his area code. And just clanked it. You on my mind last night.
And then I knew, once it got down to like 7 minutes, I'm like, this dude's done. He's not going to finish the game. Like
that was his last shot.
Son of a gun, man. And then I had Heat minus 4.5. I mean, I was certain that they were going to take care of business. Correct me wrong. Correct me if I'm wrong, Solana. Did they ever lead after the first quarter?
Never.
I mean, what'd they come back to? Within 5? Was that the closest they got?
It was 5, it was 6, and then it was 8 in the fourth quarter. They went on runs led by Kyle Lowry.
He was unbelievable.
He wasted the Kyle Lowry game.
When you're rooting for Kyle Lowry to take a 3, like, don't wait. Don't look for anyone else. Just fire the 3. You know that things are going either drastically right or drastically wrong. He's penetrating like he's 21 years old. I mean, he was insane. But they did. Atlanta withstood every run they went on.
We looked very small and not aggressive, not physical. They were like really fighting. It looked like they were playing. That's what it did. Honestly, it looked like the Hawks were playing playoff basketball and we were game 41 throughout the season.
How though? How like that's what I was trying to wrap my head around yesterday. Look, the Hawks executed their game plan. They came in. John Michaels yesterday was very clear. The Heat the Hawks can't out-bully the Miami Heat. They can't out-energize the Miami Heat. Well, guess what? They did. Like, they came in here and they out-hustled the Heat. But how, if you're the Miami Heat, are you not up from the very start of a game against Atlanta where you get 4 days of rest and a rematch of the team that knocked you out last year?
It seemed like everything was tailor-made. But like, hey, take care of a lesser team here in Atlanta. We get up for it. And then, like Solana says, got a few nights off then. Get to relax, get ready for Boston.
And you get Boston. Like, if you're Jimmy Butler,
Terrible.
if you're Bam Adebayo, that's the team that kept you out of reaching what was going to be the best season of this core last year, clearly. And you're not up for it? You're missing bunnies at the rim? Jimmy Butler?
Jimmy Butler, not just missing bunnies, was getting shots swatted away like I was trying to lay up basketballs against Clint Capella.
And Hawk, and you did, anybody not watching on video, you did this little brush thing with your hand about those lesser teams. That's our problem. We don't have the brushing away lesser teams.
Yeah.
We can lose to Detroit and beat the damn Celtics in back-to-back nights.
It's the definition of what we've seen all season from the Heat. And so if you thought that they were going to flip a switch and become playoff Heat and playoff Jimmy, you obviously saw this season. That's who they are. Yeah. You're going to win games that you don't expect to win. You're going to lose games you don't expect to lose. And you just hope you win more than you lose. And that's what it's going to come down to.
And like I said, when Jimmy wasn't on, it seemed like he just like the game plan just had nothing to do with him. It's like he gets the ball, he ISOs, or he goes and stands there and stares and plays defense. Like that was weird. And then watching back-to-back, then now watching Minnesota play, how you knew that Karl Anthony Towns was going to touch this damn ball on one side of the court if he wasn't in foul trouble. It's not like that with Jimmy. They don't approach it that way. And it was glaring last night.
Really didn't need anybody but Kyle Lowry last night.
I forgot Jimmy was on the court sometimes. That's the crazy part.
How is Kyle Lowry the only player that showed up with guts last night? How?
Right. It's infuriating. If anybody had a reason to not show up with guts, it's Kyle Lowry, because everyone wrote him off and they've been, very harsh on him. Not that it hasn't been deserved, but like, if you wanted to see a guy just play out the string, you'd kind of understand it with Kyle Lowry. And that guy gave you a flashback game last night. He was a pleasure. I mean, he literally shot them back to within 4 in the second half. And if he wasn't out there, they lose by 35 points last night.
Easy.
Yeah.
Easy. And it's not just the 3-point shooting. I'd like to make this point. It wasn't just the 3-point shooting. He was the only one getting to the rim last night.
Yep.
36-year-old big booty Kyle Lowry was the only one who was able to get to the rim with success last night. And then Bam Adebayo has the nerve after the game to say, we got to get me the ball in better spots and find ways to get me the ball more often. Bro, if there was one game where you need to hold your mouth and not talk about getting you the ball, it was last night, because you got dominated by Clint Capella, and every time you did get to the rim, it looked like a terrible shot attempt. Shot attempt.
Yeah. You talking about finishing at the rim? Salon, I got 3 kids. If I yell at little Chan to get out the kitchen, Ava and Chaz don't come in that kitchen no more. They just saw their brother get yelled at. When Clint Capella went to ejecting those balls, the whole Heat team looked over like,
I'm good.
Ooh,
I'm going to stay out of there.
They don't want us around the rim. We're going to stay back over here. Bro, it was sad how passive they were offensively. And to be honest, I thought this was a defensive team. That's what I was told. Defensive teams are never down by 20 points.
Tell Bam that they'll get him the ball just fine in Orlando. Have fun. Trade everyone.
It's crazy. You get outscored. You give up 66 points in the paint. You give up 26 second chance points, I think was the final number. and you were out rebounded by like 20 rebounds. And after
It's a
You have to
great
cough,
point,
huh?
and I'd like to expound on that.
Oh,
I'd
he
like to
looks so nasty when he coughs.
What
too.
happened? Did you swallow some of your gums? 'Cause they're flapping around.
He fell
what
off.
happened there?
Well,
Piece
you
of
have
his
Choked
asthma.
gum-
up?
Piece of his gum fell off and swallowed.
Dude, after the game, need to find ways to
I
get me
end
the
up
ball
with
more.
I end up with hair at the drain in the shower after every shower. So I end up with bits of gums.
Mom, it happened again.
You all right, Solana?
Whew. I don't know
All
what
right,
happened there.
let's do headlines because Clay Ferrero, very passionate basketball fan. I imagine he's angry as everyone else is. He's going to join us. Let's get headlines here real quick with Alejandro Solana if he can muscle through it.
Yeah, and Clay Ferrero, Mr. Start Max Strus. I mean, Strus didn't exactly shoot the lights out last night.
Max Strus, I believe,
Same.
ended with 1 point, didn't he?
3 points.
3 points?
Ballin'.
Ridiculous that Duncan didn't get any minutes. Don't get me started. That dude should have been out there for 20 minutes minimum last night.
They were allowing the Heat to shoot the ball.
He should have been out there, like you said. Nobody wanted to penetrate except Kyle Lowry.
Yeah.
Like, get Duncan Robinson out there then.
They were leaving guys wide open. Hawk, I know I've been against you on this, and I don't know why the hell playing game swung me, but I thought about that last night.
Well, everything last night
Wow.
was up for debate. Like, it was like, I get why you swung last night because, I mean, everything. Fire everyone at halftime. Like,
Yeah.
it was infuriating last night.
Not even making a joke. You think Udonis Haslem gets out rebounded that way last night? I'm not even making a joke.
I agree because it comes down to pride at some point, right?
Yeah.
It ain't gonna happen with UD. I'm with Solana.
He
Like,
will
you're
box out.
you're
He
getting
will
blown
box
out
out
at
everybody.
home by Atlanta in a play-in game. Put Udonis in. Put Duncan Robinson in.
So to the Udonis point, this is something I want to talk to Clay with about. Why did we not get dominated in the paint all season? Why were we not talking about, they're getting embarrassed down low? We knew we didn't have a big. Yurtseven's the tallest dude on this team, and he didn't play but 4 games. We knew we were a tiny team. Why is it just surfacing now?
Yeah, well, I would say this too. If the Heat hadn't gone on that run in the second half, I do think you would have seen Duncan and Udonis. Like, if they were getting blown out by 20 from the beginning of the second half on, I do think Spoelstra. What happened was they did go on that run, and it was led by the starters and Kyle Lowry. And so he just kind of went with what was out there.
The sports update, it's driven by the new Palmetto Ford Truck Super Center. Why buy your truck at a car store? Palmetto Ford. We know trucks.
Kevin Love played
3 minutes.
3 minutes last night. Did he get injured and I didn't see it?
No, didn't get
Played
injured.
3 minutes. We had a Kevin Love day on this show. He played 3 minutes. We talked about him being the veteran experience in the playoffs. Like, hey, let him do his thing during the regular season. Come playoff time, Kevin Love is going to be knocking him down. He was knocking him down.
Yeah.
Cups of Gatorade. And he had a pile of cups of Gatorade on the bench.
He was starting. They're going to hold him.
He was going to play 25 minutes the first game that he got here.
Yep. Then they
3
said,
minutes last night.
This is 2023 Kevin Love, huh? Man, we thought we got 19, 18 Kevin Love.
Max Strus, your starting guard, went 1 of 5 from the field and ended with 3 points.
Not good, Hawk. It's not good.
Gabe Vincent ended with 6 points. He's your other starter. Strus and Vincent gave you 9 points.
And then Jimmy Butler and Bam Adebayo missed at the rim basically every attempt that they had at the rim.
It was unbelievable. Like, you couldn't believe what you were watching.
I don't like to call grown men scared, but Bam was timid around the rim.
I mean, that's been the criticism of Bam, right? Like, when he goes up against a very good elite rim protector, he shrinks. I don't believe that to be true. I don't think Clint Capella, well, yesterday, it's probably a bad argument for me to say this after yesterday, I don't think he's an elite player in the NBA. Like, I just think the Hawks executed their game plan to a T, and the Miami Heat came out there like if they were going to walk all over them and didn't play up to the standard you needed to play in a playing game. Like, you're not good enough. There's a reason why you're in the playing tournament. You're not good enough to go out there, run through the motions, and beat the Hawks. You're not. That's why you're there.
I thought they were, admittedly. I thought they were good enough to go through the motions and beat the Hawks, but I was wrong. We got to get to a break, so let's get headlines real quick.
Yeah, this sports update driven by the new Palmetto Ford Truck Super Center. Why buy your truck at a car store? Palmetto Ford, we know truck. So what's next for the Heat? Friday, they'll play the winner of tonight's Bulls-Raptors game in Toronto, 7 p.m. tip-off. And then the Pelicans play the Thunder tonight in New Orleans. Obviously, no Zion Williamson. The Heat, they'll play Friday at 7 p.m. If they do win, Sunday, I believe at 6 or 6:30, they'll play game 1 of the NBA playoffs versus the Milwaukee Bucks.